Oh, a hyper metal version of Tombolo Pine. I hope you enjoyed that. I just found this pedal again. I searched all around in the l'atelier for it, but I couldn't locate it. And Dilbar Solema Nova, Dilbar, how are you doing? Where are you doing? Are you in Indonesia? So I found this pedal back again, the hyper metal, and so hope you all enjoyed that. It's Boss, as you can tell. Found it in a drawer at our apartment, luckily. Remembered where it was, so that was good times. So what's going on with everyone today? Oh, really? Super interesting. Dilbar Sulemanova, how are you doing? Good to see you, regardless. So a little art update. Oh yeah, okay, art update. Oh, check this out. I got this one. This is called Rue Théodore Aumont, I think. Azerbaijan. Excellent, sir. Or madam. Sir, I presume. We have a viewer from Azerbaijan joining us today. How are things in Azerbaijan? I'm doing well, excellent. I'm advancing on this canvas here. As you can see, I sanded this down today, and I'm rather pleased with the it's not really a pattern, because pattern implies repetition, but I guess it could be a random pattern because it's a collection of like objects. I prefer palimpsest. Palimpsest is what you get, maybe you've seen where there's been a building torn down, and there's a wall, and you can see where the chimney used to be and so forth like that on the adjacent building. Or when you have those old-timey, not billboards, but it would be a side of a building. It would be a functional billboard. It would be a side of a building painted with some sort of advertisement, and then that gets worn away with time, and then they paint it over with something else. That would be a palimpsest. So that's sort of the same idea here. And I'm liking it with the 3 different color zones, but I'm not super pleased with the crispness of the delineation here. So I think what I'm going to do is go back and actually, I've been using tape and tearing it off, and I think that's what's been causing this aberration here, where the paper, the palimpsest, gets thin at the border there. So I'm going to use an old graphic arts technique that we used to do in graphic design school at the dawn of the personal computer. We had a computer lab there, which was a good thing. Oh, thank you, sir. And what are you up to, Dilbar? What is your name? Is Dilbar your first name? Your surname? Your family name? Your given name? Your Christian name? Joking. What we used to do is we had a couple computers. I think we had an Apple II. I think we had an Apple Quadra. I think we had there's something called a Centris or something. First name Dilbar. Okay, nice to meet you, Dilbar. Thanks for coming by. Are you a follower, or did you just happen to? No, I don't want to say follower. Are you a friend? Did you? How did you happen upon this podcast? This electric podcast. So anyway, the idea is if you want some paper to seam together seamlessly, what you would do is you overlap it and then make a single cut. I don't know if you can see this, it's just 2 pieces of paper. And then what you do is make a single cut, and then they'll seam in there perfectly. Now here, for exposition, as an example, I'm going to make a complex cut, and then we'll see how that actually seams in perfectly together. So it makes something like this. I'm just being random at the moment here. Do it like that, and then what you do is you get rid of these two pieces which are the overlapping bits. And then what you'll have is this will fit in perfectly together. See that? Isn't that nice? Isn't that tight? Isn't that satisfying? So I'm going to do the same thing on here in these parts. So I'm going to have to trace this line, and then I'll cut the different kinds of paper. My last pass was with blueprint, or diazotype as I like to say. So I think the last layer is going to be more book pages to fill in the color a little bit more. There's a little bit of whiteness here that not too great, but I do like the overlapping architectural lines. I think that's very cool, and even though it's not fidel, it's not it doesn't represent exactly the photo reference. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, fidelitas. It's not. I'm switching my brain fog when going between two languages, looking for vocabulary in one and trying to translate it on the fly. But I'd like to, I can lighten it up a little bit, and we'll see how that goes. Did you find that satisfying, Dilbar? Vincent Pavé, comment ça va, toi? T'es dans le sud maintenant? Tu es chez toi, au bord de la mer, là? C'est où? Bordeaux? Non, c'est où au fond de cerf. Anyway, what else is going on? Well, I came across this book today. I take a daily walk to the park to get some vitamin D and some fresh air, relatively fresh air. And found this art book today. I found a bunch. I found like Van Gogh and Monet and Renoir and Gauguin. I found all these books. And now this one is about a particular guy named Chris. But I do like his paintings. As you can see, okay, so this one is sort of woody stuff. I like that. I'm going to do a vegetative drawing in ballpoint pen, I think, large format. And here, this is what I first saw, was his more architectural renderings, something along the lines of this right here. The noblesse du temps, it's called, the nobility of time. You see how that looks like some sort of a dilapidated shed. Anyway, I like this stuff. But then as I was thumbing through, I had to take a call, so I didn't have time to go through the whole thing carefully as I would like to. Oh, look at this. Nice old factory picture. Isn't that nice? And this one is called Âge mécanique, the mechanical age. And it's orange. How about that? Orange mécanique. Clockwork orange in French is orange mécanique. And he also does some figurative stuff along with this, and I've done some figurative. So we're kind of on the same page, even though if his technique, aesthetic, and execution are not exactly the same. You see here he's got a figure. I kind of like that. Oh, and a cat. Cats are always big. And let's see, there's one which is entitled Nymph, I believe, which is apropos as I'm doing La Nymphe, as I'm doing a series inspired by classical mythology. Yeah, isn't that nice? His name is Chris, simplement Chris. French, so you can look that up online. But anyway, there's a preface written by a certain Claude Bolling, who's a musician apparently. He says, "La musique et la peinture en lien étroit." The music and painting are closely aligned. Avant d'être captivé par les sons de mon enfance, de par mes dispositions, on me pensait destiné à l'art pictural, voire à l'architecture. Before being captivated by sound, since my childhood, and from my dispositions, from my nature, I thought that I was destined to be a pictorial artist. Yes, I am in Paris, but I am from the States. I've been here since 2001. On the Prince of Disney, and I thought I was destined for pictorial art, even architecture. Quand la musique l'a emporté par la fascination du jazz, quel ne fut pas mon étonnement de découvrir que le grand maître du jazz, Duke Ellington, avait suivi la même démarche. When the music took it away, due to the fascination with jazz, I was not surprised to discover that the Grand Master of Jazz, Duke Ellington, had the same thing in mind. On le trouve dans la peinture de Chris, la puissance impressionniste de le jongle de la musique ellingtonienne, dans ses envoûtements qui lui sont si caractéristiques. We find in the paintings of Chris the impressionistic power of color, of jungle color, of the music, of Ellingtonian music. And in this, these bewitchments of which he is characteristic of his music. The characteristic bewitchments of his, Ellingtonian music. Les formes et les couleurs de Chris sont musicales, de même que le son jazzitique de Duke est pictural. Okay, we gotta go. Hey, thanks so much, Dilbar, for stopping by. Et aussi Vincent, merci beaucoup. J'espère que tout va bien pour vous. Et merci beaucoup et à bientôt. Hein? Merci Dilbar. Thank you. Ciao for now.